For the third video of lesson 3-11, we're going to start with this outline of a pictograph. So why don't you take some time, pause the video, take some time, draw this, because we're going to fill this in terms of number of dots we're going to put here and things like that, and we're going to figure out what our scale is going to be. So why don't you pause the video, and when you get this done, restart the video, and then we'll start filling this out together. Now, when it comes to filling this in, we have to figure out what it's going to be. Now, unfortunately, because I am drawing on the iPad, I can't really draw things as carefully. So if I wanted to draw a car, I really can't draw a car because, well, I can't draw a car within this small space. So what I'm just going to use is I'm just going to use the very simple and really reliable blue wheel. And with cars, we had there would be 5 blue wheels. So I'm going to color 5 blue wheels. And really they're not wheels, they're just circles, but shh, don't tell anyone. We'll pretend. So our key is going to be 1 blue wheel is going to equal 100,000 vehicles. For vans, there were 1, 2, 3 blue wheels. Trucks, we had 2. And motorcycles, there were 1. So looking at this and looking at our key and our scale, think about how many of each type of vehicle there were. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type some questions, and I want you to think about the answers. Our first question is, how many vans travel this stretch of road? So why don't you take some time, think about it, look at our scale, and count how many, well, not count because you weren't there, you weren't counting, but how many vans. Hopefully, boys and girls, when you came to it, you saw that there are 1, 2, 3. Now each one of those 3 represents 100,000. So you're going to take 3 times, 100,000, and you're going to get 300,000 and what? 300,000 vans. All right. Our next question is, take a second here, pause that. How many fewer motorcycles travel than cars? Okay, so you're going to have to probably manipulate a couple numbers, a number or two here. Why don't you pause the video, figure out how many fewer motorcycles traveled the road than cars. Now, looking at the math, we know that there were fewer, so it means there's going to be subtraction. Cars, we had 500,000 cars because we had 5 blue dots. We had 100,000 motorcycles because there was 1 blue dot. So that's going to give us 400,000 fewer motorcycles. Our next question is, we're going to have to start looking into the future. And what it's asking is predict the, there we go. Predict the number of trucks that would travel this stretch of road over the course of 1 month. So how many cars would travel this road? How many trucks would travel this road in 1 month? Now, it's important to figure out what this one is. It's weekly. Okay, so we have to roughly guess and compare and extrapolate, which is when we take data and we figure out what it's going to be, looking at trend, and think, what is it going to do over a full month? Now, we have to think, this is weekly, so how many weeks are in a month? Hopefully, for the most part, it's around 4 weeks to a month. So we're going to start with the number 4. Okay, and then we figure out how many travel in 1 week. Trucks, we have 2, which is 200,000. And we're going to multiply those together, 4 times 200,000. We're going to get 800,000 trucks in a month. Now, one of the things to remember, ladies and gentlemen, is these pictographs do not stand for exactly 100,000 vehicles. Because in a week's traffic, what do you think the chances that there are exactly 500,000 cars and 300,000 vans and 200,000 motorcycles and 200,000 trucks and 100,000 motorcycles? The chances of those numbers being exact are pretty slim. They're probably actually close to astronomical in terms of probably not going to happen. But it's like what we did when we were talking about Dana and Paco, and that Dana had 395 bagels and Paco had 612. We kind of rounded up and we kind of rounded down just so our pictures would be full. All right? And our final question, my final question for you is if the city charges $10 a week for tolls, how much money would trucks pay in tolls after 1 week? Okay, let me get that so you can, let me get that so you can see it better. Let's stretch that out. Let's pull it down here. Stretch it out some more. I like being able to do that and talk you through, because it just makes me feel kind of like I'm in front of the classroom when I'm doing that. So if the city charges $10 a week for tolls, which means when you drive this, when a truck drives this in a week, they have to pay $10 to use the road. How much money would trucks pay? How much money would the city earn? How much would be collected after 1 week? So why don't you pause the video and try and figure that out. Looking at the number of trucks, we have to start with the number of trucks. And there are 1, 2. So we have 2 times 100,000, which is going to give us 200,000. And we're going to take that 200,000, which is the number of trucks in 1 week, and we're going to multiply that by $10. And if we multiply that by $10, basically all we're going to do is add another 0. We are going to get $2 million. So if the city were to charge each truck $10 for using the road, the city could earn $2 million a week. Not bad, huh? I think that would be a good fundraiser. That's the end of video number 3. This one took a little bit longer, but video 4 is mostly going to be work on your own. I'm going to give you just a group set of numbers, and you have to create your own pictograph.